Hey everyone, it's John here from RPO Bay Hockey, back with another video, and this video is going to be on Oliver Ekman-Larsson and 6 potential trades for him this offseason. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, smash that like button, and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm going to go through some teams that Ekman-Larsson could be traded to, but here's the kicker. Ekman-Larsson has a full no movement clause, and there's been talk. Chayka's gone, and Ekman-Larsson might want to leave now before he didn't. He signed that extension. He still has, 7 years left, $8.25 million. He's got most of this contract left. So, for Ekman-Larsson, he's probably going to want to go to a team that is going to be in a situation to win. So, I'm going to go over these teams. I'm going to go over the trade targets for the Coyotes, or what could go back, what pieces could go back. These are not necessarily going to be the packages, so don't see these lists of players and be like, what? All of those pieces for Ekman-Larsson? No, it ain't that. I did the same thing for Anderson, so let's look at this. So starting with the Winnipeg Jets, and again, this isn't the package for Ekman-Larsson, and more pieces could be coming back from Arizona. So in terms of the Coyotes, they would want Nikolai Ehlers. They would want Ehlers or Line. That's probably not going to happen in this deal. The only chance that happens is if the Coyotes are offering up more on the other side of things, which probably is not happening. They're not going to. Clayton Keller, I don't know what the Coyotes are going to be doing, but they're not going to be trading guys like Keller or Schmaltz, in my opinion. It's just probably not going to happen. I could see a fire sale in terms of older guys going, like Goligoski, Kessel, Stepan, whoever, right? And even Kemper could go. But in terms of younger pieces, I don't see it happening. So past Ehlers, I could see the first round pick being part of it. The Coyotes lost their picks. First round pick, maybe Little as some cap. And I could see a guy like Andrew Kopp going the other way, or a Roslovic going the other way. Something like that, right? Obviously, the Jets would have to lose cap in this deal. So at least Little. And, maybe it's Perreault and then Kopp and then another piece. But they would have to lose some cap to get that contract of Ekman-Larsson, 8.25. They would have to move some money to afford that. And even with that, Ekman-Larsson's contract's a little risky. But the Jets are trying to win now, and they need defense. Ekman-Larsson could fit that mold as a 1-2 on that left side. Morrissey's there, Pionk's there. If you can re-sign DeMello, that's a pretty decent top four. Edmonton Oilers. I think the Oilers are going to be very involved in a lot, and they have some contracts that could go the other way. If I actually put a deal together here, and it's actually pretty interesting, I could see a situation where, you entice the Coyotes by maybe sending Darnell Nurse and attach him to Koskinen or attach him to James Neal, and then maybe get a Darcy Kemper and Ekman-Larsson back. So a huge package of again, if we're just talking first round pick, Darnell Nurse, then maybe Koskinen, then maybe bringing back Kemper and Ekman-Larsson. You would probably have to add more on the Oilers side, but what I'm saying is in terms of framework, that's intriguing to the Coyotes because you're getting a first-round pick and potentially maybe a prospect. The Oilers have a couple defense prospects that they could move on from. And Puljujarvi could be an intriguing piece as well for the Coyotes. I only included these 4 targets, but I would include Puljujarvi in there as well. I'd include one of the defense prospects maybe. So like I said, in terms of framework, and if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, I'm looking at the Coyotes having both Kemper and Ranta as a target. And that could be included in them getting Ekman-Larsson. And the Oilers trading maybe Nurse in this deal, Nugent Hopkins in this deal. If they don't believe they can sign Nugent Hopkins, which I think Nugent Hopkins wants to stay in Edmonton, but we'll see what kind of price tag he wants. Maybe that's intriguing to the Coyotes. Maybe the Coyotes just want to retool and come back next year. Maybe they re-sign Taylor Hall. We don't know about all these scenarios. But as for right now, I could see the Coyotes looking at many players for the Oilers, and the Oilers looking at one of the goalies in Arizona, as well as a guy like Ekman-Larsson. Buffalo Sabres, are they ready to compete? We don't know. But I think this could be very interesting because I also suggested if Kessel was to waive his no movement, if he was to accept a trade to Buffalo, that would be intriguing as a winger to Jack Eichel. But for Ekman-Larsson, this could also be a fit. Ristolainen's been wanting out. He could be part of this package. Middlestat, maybe moving on from him. The Coyotes could take a chance on him. The 8th overall pick, and that's where it's also intriguing. Same thing with Edmonton. Buffalo looks at Ranta and Kemper. Maybe he comes over, one of those guys, to tandem. And, we'll see. Allmark is a guy that I believe can play 30, 40 games easily and play decently well, being around an average goalie. But to get that tandem complete, you could get a guy like Ranta or Kemper. And for me, the interesting one is Kyle Okposo, because if you're Buffalo, you could probably stack up this package, include Okposo, lose that contract, and bring back Ekman-Larsson, which is a risky contract, but Ekman-Larsson is a very good top 4 defenseman, easily. I mean, as of a couple of years ago, he was probably considered a top 20 defenseman. I would still say he's probably like a top maybe 40 defenseman, for sure. Top 35-ish. Like, I haven't thought about it, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he is probably a number 2 on a lot of teams. On weaker teams, he could be a number 1, but like I said, Ekman-Larsson has struggled. We'll see if he can turn it around. I think the package, like I said, it could be Ristolainen and a first-round pick. Ekman-Larsson and another piece coming back, maybe Ekman-Larsson and Ranta, and then, you know what, maybe you stack up the package and include Okposo. So we'll see. There's a lot of options there for Buffalo, but I think they could be a fit. Montreal Canadiens, I think they could be a fit. I think if they would make a trade like this, they would want Arizona to take on Alzner, and they would stack up the package. Like, I could see it being a big package of literally the only time I'll say this could literally be the package. What we're looking at in front of us right now, Domi, first-round pick, Mete, Alzner, and maybe Montreal gets back like Hinostroza and Ekman-Larsson. Like, I could see that working. More because Montreal can actually afford, with all the prospects they have in the system, they can actually afford to lose a first-round pick. Max Domi struggled. Mete probably doesn't fit into the long-term picture, in my opinion. And then you're losing the Alzner contract and getting Ekman-Larsson to complete a very solid top 4. Imagine a top 4 going into next year of Ekman-Larsson, Weber, Sherratt, and Petrie. And then adding to the fact that you have Juleson and Romanov, like, that's a stacked top 6 right there. So I actually would love the potential of that. And I think if you're Montreal, doing that deal, losing the Alzner contract on top of it, you could probably go out and try to get a forward in free agency. Whether that's Dadonov, Hoffman, like, there's options there, right? But I think that could make sense for both sides. Arizona gets Max Domi back. They get a first-round pick, which they don't have. And Mete, who I still think has a little bit of potential, but we'll see. All right, the Flyers. So for me, this one's really interesting. I think Van Riemsdyk would definitely be going back the other way. Van Riemsdyk was top 5 on the trade bait board for TSN. Gostisbehere could also be included in this deal. And then again, the Coyotes will be looking for a first-round pick probably in this deal, so that's why I have it as a target. Rangers. So I'm thinking, if I'm looking at the New York Rangers, this is probably a little bit of a hot take, but if you're on the Rangers side and you can include Brendan Smith or Mark Stahl in this deal, it might make some sense, and include your late first-round pick. Obviously not the first-round pick for Laugh, but the late first-round pick the Rangers have, and then maybe include, if you could include both Smith and Stahl, I think it might be worth it for the Rangers to include that late first-round pick and then attach like Elias Anderson and Pavel Buchnevich to this. It could make a lot of sense. The Coyotes just have to pay Stahl and Smith for this last year. The Rangers stack up their defense even more than it has been. And, man, the Rangers might go for a run as soon as next year. So that's really interesting. But, yeah, like I said, I think the Winnipeg Jets, just to go over it one more time, the Jets, I think, are a really realistic opportunity. Oilers, like I said, I think there's the opportunity for that. They would want a contract going back the other way. Maybe they take on Neal. Maybe the Edmonton Oilers. Maybe bring back a guy like Stepan. I mean, we don't know. Like I said, if they include 2 bad contracts, maybe Stepan to be that third-line center behind Draisaitl and McDavid. Buffalo Sabres, I think there's opportunity there where they want to include the Pozo contract if they're stacking up with the rest of that package. The Montreal Canadiens, I think that actually makes a lot of sense potentially, especially if they can package those 2 or 3 pieces together and then maybe send Alzner contract the other way. The Philadelphia Flyers, like I said, I think one of Van Riemsdyk and Gostisbehere would definitely be in this deal. And like I said, the Rangers, I think this is a little bit more of a hot take, but I think there's potential there for it to happen. So let me know what you think. I went through a bunch of options there. Subscribe if you're new. Smash the like button. And do I think Ekman-Larsson could be traded? We'll see. He has to waive that no movement clause. It's a tough contract to take, especially on a flat cap. But as I pointed out for a few examples there, if a bad contract or a contract of higher cap is going back the other way, it could be possible. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you on more streams and videos to come. This was John from Montreal Hockey. Have a good one. Peace out.